You want a piece of land? She had the real big woman, Miss Davis. She had the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. They can't put horse and a fan through she. They can't put here call and Miss D had the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. They can't put horse and a van through she. They can't put here call and she tell me pre-smart, pre-better. Get your own damn place where you prefer it. Dear me wife of you sign up letter car. NHT them a real gen setter. Plus me don't get a youth of a member. The son just on table in December. And she do construction too. She will build your house for you and you get it well rendered. David, she a the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. They can put house and a van through she. They can put take all and then Miss D a the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. They can put house and a van through she. They can put take all and she not start it and left you there. Me a tell your brother yes she well prepared. And if you're meeting enough farm a bangarang, she give you lawyer brother clear your fear. She a the best RST agent. She help the need if you stop parent. They don't care about mind them just if it's strength by steel and gravel and black and cement house. Now me house that I build up on the eye me and save some me money gone up in the sky from. Baby Claudia me say me not lie bang. Have money and me pocket never giant. Me swear for me life say me son him have to fly so. If a great beer gone while we die, but no can't stop Claudia Davis don't try. Every day another house gone I Miss Davis, she a the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. They can put house and a van through she. They can put take all and then Miss D a the real big woman. Which she coulda never go wrong with she. They can put house and a van through she. They can put take all and yeah man. You know. It's Claudia Davis. Pick up yourself. That's a like, subscribe, and share. Claudia Davis. And get your house anywhere. Just be prepared without no fear.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, my serenity. Good morning. Horse Dead and Co Fat. I haven't seen you on live in a while. Welcome back.
Horse Dead and Co-Fat. Horse Dead and Co-Fat. Isn't that what it is? Horse
Yeah.
Dead, right?
Yeah, Horse
Okay.
Dead. Morning, Sharika.
Trying to get my mouse to work.
Did you plug it in?
Yeah, it's plugged in. Okay. Yes, it's in. Thank you, ladies, for getting up so early. Everybody else is sleeping. So how was your week?
This week I felt very busy. Like by Thursday, I think I was just exhausted. It was all the physical activity I did this week. I was so tired.
No, Tony, what physical activity is it?
I think the plumbing that I was doing on Monday, Tuesday, and the extra cleaning that I was doing.
The extra what?
Cleaning.
Cleaning?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Mm-hmm. So how did the plumbing go? What was it?
Putting a filter, water filter, add 2 metal lock-offs, a gate valve, and install a reducing valve.
So water filter, 2 gate valve. I think I lost sound. I lost sound.
You can't hear me? Did you turn down the volume again?
I'm not hearing. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Not hearing, Tony. Oh yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Are you connected to the Ethernet cord? Or are you trying to do this over Wi-Fi?
No, I'm not sure what's happening, but Ethernet is a black one, right? I think I'm connected straight. I think.
You think so?
Yeah.
The white Ethernet cord is connected to your computer through the Express.
No, I'm not connected to that white cord, but oh, oh. I mean this.
No, that's for the monitor. The other one, the one, the other X-Tech. The X-Tech is black.
Yes, it's connected.
It's connected. Okay, perfect.
So you
Uh,
were saying that you install a water filter, two gate valves, and what?
mm, a pressure reducing valve.
And a pressure reducing valve. That was it.
That was it. Yeah.
Oh, that make you exhausted.
No, that's not what made me exhausted. Like I did not have a pipe cutter. This is why you should have your tools, So I was using just the blade of the hacksaw.
Blade. Wow.
That
Oh,
made that made cutting every pipe like an extra effort.
but that is a typical Jamaican plumber. So you
It
join
is. It is.
Jamaican plumbers don't use pipe cutter. That's a bougie thing.
I know, right? So like a pipe cutter is like 6,000 Jamaican dollars. While you can get a hacksaw for like 250.
That's a blade. That's a blade for 250.
So,
Yeah. Well, welcome you graduate now to the Jamaican plumber. Welcome to the club.
never again. This week I'm getting myself a pipe cutter because like just my hands alone from the it was just paining me afterwards. Like I getting arthritis in my fingers. And not
Right.
like
Our carpenter one of those.
yes. So Sharika says I'm barely awake.
Oh, Sherry, gosh.
But you have to start your day early. I feel like when I start my day late, it runs away from me. Like if I get up at 8 o'clock, I feel like I've missed so much and I spend the rest of my day picking up.
Yeah, that's
Even
true.
to get ready takes longer
Yeah, that's true. It
when I
does.
get late.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what's happening. If I get up at 6, I can literally be ready by 6:30. If I get up at 8, 10 o'clock, I'm still trying to get ready. Like what's happening in the day that's making me later than normal?
Well, in the army, it started day early now. By this time, every army officer, army soldier, everybody's awake.
True.
Yeah, everybody's awake. Tony, I think is your internet going in and out, man.
My internet, I shouldn't. I'm directly connected.
Or you're dragging then. You're dragging.
I'm dragging. Everyone else, am I dragging on the line?
Because you just said something and I don't hear your mouth move. See your mouth move.
All
Just
right.
move.
Let me do
Or it's,
something.
or it's me dragging.
One moment. Okay. Not sure. So what I've done, Mom, is I have turned off the Wi-Fi so that I'm just directly coming through on the Ethernet on my end.
From your end. All right. You look like your mouth sinking now.
My Serenity says I'm not dragging.
Okay. All right. Good.
Okay, so Sharika says I'm barely awake. My Serenity said, Tony, what happened to your other YouTube channel? I haven't done that channel in a while. That's the fertility channel, Mom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Tony, what happened to it?
I need to get back to it because things look like they might finally progress now on that end. So with the Graves' disease, I've had back and forth in terms of getting to better health. But my last 4 reports have been really good. So I was finally able to get through for registration for IVF, which is the next big step. So I'm now waiting to be called for that after they get some results from some other blood tests that I did in the earlier in the month.
What's IVF for those of us who don't know what that is?
In vitro fertilization.
And what does that entail? In vitro.
So basically, they create the embryo outside of the body, so sperm and egg, create the embryo outside of the body for 5 days, and then put it back in your body.
Wow. That has to be done under a microscope, right? Because they're not able to see that. I mean, no, boy, man, really. Take
Not
that off.
only that, like I do not envy the jobs of the embryologist who has to sit down and literally take one egg, take one sperm, and go like this.
I pray that they like each other.
I know, right? Pray that she choose the right one on the day.
Yeah, not a lazy one. Either side. Wow. Boy, the medical field, I really lift my hat. We have had so many breakthroughs, so many things that make our lives actually easier.
And to think 20 years ago in Jamaica, this was not even possible, right? Technology recently came here because we actually got an embryologist who's Jamaican. So,
Right. And we also have a dedicated clinic to it. Is that so?
yeah, we now have a dedicated clinic for it now.
Mm-hmm. That's on the U campus, right?
Yeah, on the
U Hospital campus. And we have doctors who specialize in definitely in the process now. So as she says, 20 years ago this wasn't possible. But ladies, it is possible now in Jamaica. Very successful too as well. Because you know our Jamaican doctors are the top, right? Top of the class. I mean, we don't put people in medical school who are not top of their game. Really, there's no hit and miss here.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the bright people who go into medicine in Jamaica. So we do have top, very top medical professions in Jamaica. As a matter of fact, throughout. So nurses, radiographers, you name it, whatever specialty in the medical field, it's really only the top people who get into those professions in this country. So we do have very, very good doctors. And I'm glad to know that. When was that clinic established?
Sure. They have a website called IVF Jamaica. That has details on them.
Okay. So those of you who are interested, ladies, you're interested, or even gentlemen, ivfjamaica.com. That's the name of the site.
Yeah. My son says you're not dragging. Naki Jam. Good morning, ladies. Morning, Naki.
Naki Jam is here.
Yes, in the house. My son says thanks for the fertility update. Monica M. Good morning. Good morning, Monica. And Serenity says, have you selected the sperm donor? How was the process? So yes, I did select the sperm donor. Process was pretty straightforward. Once I filled out my registration card and let them know that I required donor sperm, they gave me a list of several websites overseas. Went and logged in on the websites, went through all the donors, selected what I want, paid for it, and then just sent the unit code, the details, the record of what I selected, how many I selected, and the receipts. And then they handle the shipping and storage and everything after that.
Shipping and storage.
And yeah.
And they will store for how long?
Every year.
So you pay for storage every year?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like you pay for furniture storage.
Yeah, basically.
I tell you, the technology, man. Oh, man. So that's another thing. So I think in the process though, those ladies who want to maybe delay getting pregnant, you could probably also freeze your eggs, right?
Yeah. But you can freeze your eggs, yes, but freezing embryos lasts longer.
Right. So if you have a partner
Mhm.
and you really don't want to be pregnant right now, you can let them join the sperm and the egg and freeze the embryo.
Right, especially if you're gonna do maybe like another degree or a master's, or you're going overseas for extended time to work or anything like that. That would delay you thinking of having starting a family now.
Right.
Do the process and store your embryos and then come back to it afterwards.
Wow. That's some serious planning right there.
My Serenity says, I wish hospitals were better in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're working on that now.
Mm.
But the UA hospital is not bad. Tony, I've interfaced with the UA hospital. I had both my children there as well.
Oh,
Years ago.
which
And
one?
it was well. I had Tony there and I had Rachel there. Didn't have any challenges. You interfaced with them recently, Rachel. Zanna and Zeva were born at that hospital as well.
Mhm.
How was your experience?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, well, let me preface to say that I dealt with Hugh Winter and then Dewey, right? So Hugh Winter, in and of itself, has a more high class, upgraded type of service on a whole, right? Because
That's
of
Winter. You Winter is where you go for the
fertility clinic, right?
fertility side
So
of it.
that section, in and of itself, is very upgraded.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this, I guess, because the customer services and stuff, it's on the higher end as well. But then
Right.
we went over after the surgery to the UE section, and I was on the section next door to labor ward. Um, that was pretty good as well. The nurses were on point. They checked on me. They made sure I was okay. It was comfortable. I was very surprised on that. Very surprised at that. And the service was overall really good. The only challenge I think I had with them was when I was having the ovarian cyst and I had to go to emergency. Now, based on the type of issue I have, other type of situation, gunshot wounds, and things that are coming in will take precedence when you're over in the emergency section. So there is a long waiting time if you don't have like a life-threatening sickness at that point.
Okay. So as far as they're concerned, ovarian cyst is just a little thing and you just
Yeah,
have to feel the pain.
yeah, you don't feel the pain once it bursts, then you're fine. You throw up a bit and you feel a little nauseous, but
Yes, and the doctors kind of know that, but you never know that. You thought you were dying, right?
yeah. Like if I had like known, I would have probably taken some painkillers
Mm-hmm.
and then
From once, yeah. And wait it out.
and just wait it out.
Right. Okay.
Um, Serenity is saying, is there sperm donor available in Jamaica? So yes, Jamaican men do donate. You generally don't get the option to choose it because Jamaican genetics is very close. So
It's very what?
close.
Meaning what?
So, for example, you might end up using your brother's sperm because you
Okay.
don't know each other.
I got you. I got you.
And because you're not talking to the person who's giving you the sperm to know their dating history and their family history and those type of things, it's harder to check,
Yes, yes.
right? And the
So
thing
you
is
said
that,
it's available, but available to who? Then?
yeah, so it's available, but it goes across to other countries.
Oh, oh, so they do donate the sperm, but
Mhm.
you in Jamaica, you're not allowed to choose it.
Right.
Okay, but an African or an American or a Chinese could choose a Jamaican sperm.
Yeah, so our sperm goes across to like the other Caribbean countries.
Right. Okay,
And
got it.
other Caribbean sperm comes across to us.
Wow. So
So
that's
the
serious
process,
information. Mm.
how long was the process? To select the sperm is basically like 1 week. Like you go on the site on a Monday and you say yes and you buy it the Monday. The longest part is you trying to decide which one to choose because trust me, there's hundreds to choose from, right? Because
Thousands, I mean, man. Thousands.
Well, no, for me it was 100 because
Why?
I I don't have extensive medical genetic testing on myself because it's really not a service that's offered in Jamaica. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't have extensive genetic testing on myself. I don't know all the underlying sicknesses and variations in the gene pool. So I was limited to only selecting people who already had an extensive genetic testing and
Oh,
only had maybe one or two anomalies or no anomalies. Because I'm
right.
not sure what anomaly I have
Yeah.
that's going to interact with them to cause a defect in the child.
Right.
My choices were limited to maybe about 15 people based
Oh,
on what I was looking at. Yeah.
but you could have bought all 15, right? If you wanted to.
Yeah, you can buy whatever you want. Right.
Okay.
At the time when I bought it, it was like $1,000 per vial. And then
Mm-hmm.
you spend another $1,000 to ship.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that, so $500 was the shipping, and then $500 was the container that it came in. And then you got back the $500 that the container came in because they sent it back.
Got you. So all of this you need to put in the blog.
Yes.
Start from start to finish. So I hope you have your notes and everything because I can see from the questions that there are persons interested in knowing the process, right?
Right.
Um,
And I think it's a process that all women should go through because I would have not known about the Graves' disease and other things that I have if they weren't doing so many blood draws and tests on me, right? So like even though we've just reached this point in the journey, it's good to know that my health has improved during the course because I was sick and didn't know I was sick, if that makes any sense.
yeah, that's true because thinking about it now, I think I might just have to go through the process with all those tests. Like, wow. I mean, blood draw after blood draw. Oh, how many blood draws did they have you been counting?
I do a blood draw every month to keep up on the Graves,
Okay.
which is just 2 vials of blood every month, basically, to check my levels. And then outside of that, for the fertility section of it, I do maybe a blood draw every 3 months because they're checking different things along the line.
Right. Okay.
One of the main things they check is the thyroid, your prolactin, and then if you have any other type of autoimmune and diseases and stuff like that.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, my friend says if I wanted a Jamaican sperm donor and live in Jamaica, I wouldn't have an online profile. Is that correct? I think you can specifically request it, but you have to sign some form of waiver. That's like if this child is genetically related to you on both sides, then you bear the risk.
They're the consequence of
Yeah,
are the repercussions of that. But
yeah,
you can bring your own donor though, can't you?
yeah. You can bring your own donor as well.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I don't think Jamaican men are against donating.
No, not since you have been on this journey. I've realized that
Yeah, they're not against
you're
donating.
not against donating
They're
because
actually pro life creation, which I
mhm,
thought that was strange at first, but Jamaican men want to have children, if that
yeah,
makes any sense.
yeah, they want to have children.
All right.
Because in the
They're
on
raising
this
them
journey,
not. They like to know that they're out there.
yeah. Tony has had so many offers and even some cuss out. So why you never call me? Let me know it. Because Tony was doing this in secret, not realizing that the
Yeah.
men around us were actually not bothered by it. They want to donate. They want this child.
Mm.
Which we found strange. Well, I don't know if it's an anomaly or what, or maybe we just know good men.
Mm.
Because the thing out there is that these Jamaican men don't want a children and them don't take care of them children. Da 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 da. I don't know. but it's we
I
didn't
think it has a lot to do with where you're meeting the man in his life stage too.
could be.
Mhm.
Yeah, at what stage? I mean, if you meet him when he's not financially ready, emotionally ready,
Not sure.
stable, and all of that, then yes, definitely a
First,
chance.
the answer might be no, but
Yeah, but maybe because the men that we're surrounded with are stable, um, and so I guess could be. Yeah, it could be. There's the selection of where you're coming from.
yeah.
Hmm. But so if you're, I would say if you're interested in going this route, then you could. If you want to keep it Jamaica, then you could actually suggest it to the men around you in your life first. Tony
Mhm.
didn't know that, but at first, is after she actually got the sperm now and they're asking, how is it going? What you doing? How whatever. Then she realized that she could have just asked one of them for the sperm. I should have gotten it free. And I would have gotten the backup support with it too. That's needed afterwards. So it's not a bad journey, guys.
Mhm. But you just have to be patient with it.
Yeah, you have to be patient with it. I
Mhm.
know that, like anything else, when you start it, you finish, right? You go right through the process. You have any more questions?
Yes. Zoe says, "Good morning, ladies. Morning, Zoe. Morning, Teresa. Sharika is asking, who is this for? Meaning IVF. So we have a range of people. So like myself, single women, who wants to have children. That's one option. We do have couples who have been trying to get pregnant naturally and who have not been successful can also come and do IVF as well. And men do come to the clinic too who think they may be having some issues. They come and get the sperm checked to see if there's anything they need to do to improve their health so they can have better sperm count, stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Like the website IVF Jamaica has a bit of information on it that you can use, or you can go to the clinic, which is open, I think, 9 to 4 Mondays to Fridays up at UA. You can generally get information from them as well.
Tony, oh, second, my brain tripped out a while ago. You said, yeah, a while ago. No, I kind of drifted. I don't know why.
Which part? Who the clinic is for?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So single women like myself who want to be mothers can come, and then we have couples who have been trying and not having any success can come, and they have younger women who are thinking about planning for family but don't want to start a family as yet. Come as well and store eggs and embryos for the future.
Right. And that is you go to the Hugh Winter Clinic straight, or you have to go through fertility doctors.
Right. So you can go straight, but it's always recommended that you go through your doctor first, because your doctor is going to do all those pre-tests to make sure that you're a viable client to go to the clinic. Because you don't want to start with the clinic first and then realize that something is wrong with you and then have to go back. So it's best to go for your doctor first.
Right. Right. And then you have another question?
Um, My Serenity says, please do the fertility YouTube channel update. We're vested in your experience.
Yes, Tony,
Okay.
need to start it this week. Start from scratch before the intensity of it starts.
Yeah, and then I'm like emotionally unhinged and crying through, crying through the video.
Well, if you get emotionally unhinged, you know you have a whole heap of people around you supporting you, right? It's all a part of the process, right? So the journey is what it is. Success comes in many ways. So
Mhm.
persons that I have mentored have been more successful than me, and it makes me happy to know that the knowledge that I've given them, they have added their own knowledge, and I've been able to. So I teach one-on-one is two, and then they have been able to put another two with it, and then 2 and 2 is 4. So that's how that's what happens. That's what we need, right? So we need persons with the knowledge, the base knowledge, or even enough knowledge to tell us what's going on. How do we do this? It helps somebody else to go through the journey as well and to realize that, hey, I can actually do this. I can actually start this journey. It's not as challenging, you know, or not unreachable. Sometimes persons thinks that it's unreachable. Just like buying a house. A lot of persons think, oh, I would never own a house. It's so unreachable. I'm not earning enough money and so on. But
Yeah,
once I start the journey,
so step one, because that was my challenge initially. I wasn't sure what step one was. And then
right,
Instagram post, and I'm like, oh, I need to find a fertility doctor. That's
right,
step one. I didn't even know there was like a fertility doctor. You know, I know you
right,
have a gynecologist, but I didn't know there was like a fertility doctor. Like you
right,
could
right, right.
get
So that's the thing. So persons, as you said, you don't know what is step one. So in doing the blog, Tony, you will help somebody else understand what step one and start their journey.
Mhm.
All right. So my serenity, thank you for that. Um, we're
And Paul says, "Are you single, Tony?" Yes, I'm single. That's why we.
yeah. Who asked that? Who asked?
Yeah, I'm probably joined late. That's why.
Yard Yardman Global.
Yes.
But you know that he's a man for sure. You know that he's from Yard, meaning Jamaica. You know that he's also global. His name says it. Yes. Well, Tony is single in the colloquial terms, meaning not joint, hinge with another partner, but she's not single in family. So she's still a part of our family unit. So we don't have a big family, really, but you would think we have a big family, actually. We don't have a big family, but we do have we're a close knit family.
Yeah, we're very close.
Plus all the extended people who come to them, my uncle, godfather, this, that, that. I'm only for those two. Yeah, I mean, well, we spend what is the first half hour talking about the fertility. So, Tony, you need to have get the YouTube going. Then you can have a live as well, so persons can come on and share their experiences, and those who
Mhm.
want to start can ask questions.
Mhm.
Mhm. I see Sharika saying something, Tony.
Oh, I can't see it. Hold on. Can you
Sharika
see it?
says, laugh out loud, Tony, to get hinged, man. Why, Sharika, that may cause more harm than good. You, Tony, you can answer the question?
Oh yeah, Tony needs to get hinged, man. Hinged or hitched? Hinged.
Is there hitched? Tony, there we go, your freedom now.
I know, right? And I wonder if women realize that you have so much freedom when you're single.
No, Jamaican women are hinged or very early. So they have no time to discover what it is to be free.
I know. Maxine B says, "Hi, ladies.
Hi, Maxine. Hi.
Hi. Do we have any real estate questions today?"
Don't want to get let off the hook. All right. So,
Guys, friends, does freedom really gone with a child? Yes, it does. Children do take away your freedom, so you have to really be prepared for it. Because I mean, I when I watch Xander and Zaven, I realize how restricted I am in terms of even just what you do, even when you're in the house with them, if you want to lie down in your bed and scroll on your phone, you can't do it because you have to be watching the toddler.
Yeah, you know, to watch these kids because the slightest time you take your eyes off them, all hell breaks loose.
You find your toothbrush in the toilet. I mean, the amount of toothbrush I have lost to Xander.
Yeah, and the toilet paper. I found one in the toilet yesterday. That's so not funny. We have to lock those doors because they will cause us some serious plumbing issues.
My thing with him is like, in the mornings he does not want to brush his teeth, but any other time of day he go find his toothbrush and try to brush his teeth. Like, I don't know.
Crazy, eh?
Yeah, but in the mornings it's a no.
Yeah, so you lose some of your freedom. Not all, some. You know, you have extended family. In Jamaica, we have extended family. So we don't really pay for childcare like that. If you want to go to a party, dinner, something, um, so you can actually you can maneuver it.
Yeah, once you give your family enough notice, like, because you want a party tonight and tell them no, but
Yeah, give
it's
them
for
enough.
themselves. They can help you out free of cost.
Yeah, it should be good. All right. So, Tony, can we? Oh, Vanessa is asking, can you get insurance on a house in progress? You mean while you're building it? Yes. You should have established that insurance before you start building. You have contractors all risk insurance. That's the insurance that you would carry for a building project. So when you're building, you get that insurance. Contractors all risk.
So that protects the building, or it protects the people working on the
And
site.
peril is what protects a building, which you would probably would have had if you have a mortgage. If you don't have if you some mortgages you don't have it, right? But most mortgages in Jamaica will carry the peril, especially if you're NHD mortgager.
So you're saying, Mom, your construction mortgage carries a
No,
peril?
no, you can't. Your loan for the property, the loan carries peril. Normally, though, suppose it's land, you might not have any peril insurance. But if it's a house, then you would have had peril insurance, which is peril meaning earthquake, flood, hurricane, so on.
Mom, so if I understand you correctly, you said when I have the land and I decide to get a loan to build the house on the land, I can get insurance with that loan.
Yes, you get an insurance called at that point when you're going to start the building. Contractors all risk insurance.
Okay.
That's insurance you carry. That is for any accidents or anything happening on the site, right? When you finish the house now, then you go and insure it under peril because now you have a house to insure.
What if you're just at like lintel and then an earthquake comes
I'm also
and,
sure you can um
and it hit it down? I have
and
to call the mortgage
you
after.
probably ask no a good insurance rep. I'll probably ask her to come on and explain the different ones we can get for
Mm-hmm.
house. I usually get contractors on risk when I'm going to start the construction. Right. But
Here,
yes, you can get
then
that insurance. And there should be some riders that go with it. You should be able to get it. You need to just check with that insurance rep.
okay. Here Q8 says, "Good morning. What's the general cost of home insurance monthly?"
Paid for house. That we would know. You have to ask the insurance company. If you're a National Housing Trust mortgager, they have a group rate, right? So that's the best insurance that you could get. And that's automatic. NHT will insure that automatic. You don't even know it's in your mortgage and everything.
I know. I think it was like 23,000 a year or
Or
something.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is dependent on how much well, NHT only lend you 7.5 million anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And usually What I usually do is let it run for the whole period while I'm paying this loan. I don't usually increase it because I'm all for block and steel construction and slab roofs too. So I'm saying if there's a hurricane, what will happen? The windows will probably blow out, right?
Mhm.
And if windows blow out, then whatever insurance is there can buy back two windows. So I don't usually increase the insurance because when you increase insurance, you increase your premium and you also increase the what's it called? Is it the reserve? So there's a like there might be a 2%. What's the name I'm looking for, guys? There might be a 2%. So let us say the damage is 10 million. The first 2% of 10 million, you will have to find that. So just imagine the higher you put on that insurance, then you will have to pay that.
Can you recommend an insurance broker?
Yes, I can. WhatsApp me. Because Tony, I don't think you set up a link.
No. What the queen is asking in the meantime. My mortgage was increased without any notice from the bank. I realized that the money wasn't pulled when I checked my account. They didn't pay because of the shortfall and charging me interest. Vanessa is called deductible.
They didn't pull it because of the shortfall. You meaning you had the money in your account was enough to cover this new increased mortgage. That's what you're saying. So
Yeah.
they didn't pull it at all. And then they charge you interest. Why wouldn't they have notified you though? They usually do.
Yeah, they usually send you like an email
Mm-hmm.
with the notice about maybe 2 months before the actual increase comes. Could be that it got into spam or something. They usually send it out.
Yeah, they usually do. Trying to search for insurance.
Those mortgage increases go like a mini heart attack when you read those letters in it.
Knows what?
The mortgage increase.
You're trying to get them to remove the charges. You should be able to if you're in Jamaica. Keep writing letters and maybe who you're talking to can't move the charge. So you need to go above that person. I can't remember the name of this okay, her name is Toya or Tanya. What are
Tanya.
we?
Tanya.
Tanya.
Mm-hmm. On it?
No, her name spelled away on my phone, you know. I think of Taya. Taya.
Let me look in my phone.
Or Tonya.
Do you spell it Tania or Tanya?
I think of T-O. Yeah. Tonya. Lee Lewis. Right. She's my client. So here's a number. Tony, type this in the chat. So her name is Tanya Lee Lewis Wright.
Okay. I found a number.
Okay. So the number is, let me read it out. 876-522-5775. You can just let her know it's me. 876-522-5775. But the Queen said they sent it by post office. They're crazy. Which bank? That.
Yeah.
We're even processing loans now by
That's like
email.
Send it by post office. What if we lose your bank?
Bank that. Seriously? Post office mail. They're crazy. So Tanya Lee Lewis, right? She's in the insurance rep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
CIBC? Oh, no. I CIBC did I? And I usually like CIBC.
Oh, real joker. Yeah, we had mortgages with them. But why by letter? You're crazy. Well, they should have done both, really.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So here Q8 says, I'm torn between the practical deck roof and the beauty of a decorative roofing.
You can do decorative roofing.
You
Well,
can vote, but you will know that when a hurricane call and you sit for 1 week before the hurricane strike, worrying, and then an hurricane blowing, your pressure go up.
yeah, but I mean, if the decorative roof, if it's done well, can withstand hurricane. You just have to spend a little bit more money.
No decorative roof can withstand some categories of hurricane. It's gonna lift.
True.
If the rafters don't move, the zinc sheeting are gonna peel off, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying. What you try to do is use longer screws for your zinc sheeting when you're putting it on. And when I say zinc sheeting, I mean decra tile and everything else.
Or
But in Jamaica here, down in St. Elizabeth, we saw where the rafters stood up because the rafters were strapped with hurricane strap to the plate. But all of the zinc sheeting peel off, leave the board them stand up in the air. Who would have thought, right?
uh,
So we spend all this technology and time securing the rafters. And nobody remembered that, ouch, we need to secure these sheets on top of the rafters. So that might be a little challenge. But seriously, I don't know. A good, whereas block and steel can withstand any category hurricane, I don't see no hurricane that will gonna come and huff and puff and blow down a concrete building.
mm-hmm.
None cannot do it. It might blow through your windows and even your door, right? But can't blow down your building or take off a concrete roof. Cannot. Again, style, and then you might say, "Sure, I'm soon gone and pick them up to deal with that." We might have a hurricane every 40 years that liquid off our socks. I don't know.
Yeah, but like how often do a hurricane come? How often do a category 5 hurricane come? How
I
often?
don't know, but it seems to be getting closer and closer with global warming, which is what has happened.
Or what you can do is do the room that you want the nice vaulted ceilings in. Do that one with the thing and then put the rest of the house in slab.
In
That
slab.
way if the hurricane do blow, at least you have somewhere in the house to go.
And I used to think that it was only two-story houses that were vulnerable, but I've seen single-level houses with roof gone. So this hurricane, no, the hurricanes don't play. And the worst, persons who have been through hurricanes where they're sitting in their house and they're looking at the roof going, supposed to be scary. Hmm?
Not only scared, but watching your money blow away because those roofs not cheap.
No, they're not. And they might not even have insurance to cover them back, to repair them.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, Tony, let's take the first article. So you have to consider if you want your peace of mind.
Janet
I just
Gordon
did a design.
Good morning. You did a design where, Mom?
Where I did I did the gable, well, half gable. Call it shed. Gable is this one. Shed. Remember that one that we did? For Palmetto Pines, you soon see the 3D come out. But I'm also gonna do the same design, but I'm gonna use slab roof with molding around it so you can see the difference in design. No, don't give me the Spanish Town one yet. Give me the other one. Um,
Which one? One
how many
about
persons?
English or the
How
one
many
about
persons woke up with us? How many persons you have online?
27.
Ah, holy man. Give me national security investments. So we're gonna talk about Spanish Town soon. Are you gonna read? Or I'm to read? I can't say that to read, so you want me to read or you read? I can read from a phone though. All right, I'll read. Deputy Minister, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, has expressed confidence that continued investments in national security will increase the value and demand for Jamaican real estate. The government is investing in the development of the police force to provide increased safety, which will not only provide personal protection, but ensure the maintenance and increase in the value of real estate assets. He was delivering the keynote address at the International Real Estate Conference and Homeowners Expo at Montego Bay Convention Center in St. James on Friday. The JCF now boasts approximately 14,200 members. As the government continues to invest in social intervention programs to improve security at the community level, Chang explained that the provision of adequate residential housing in organized communities can also contribute to the quality of life. He noted that real estate is one of the drivers that drivers of developmental change, and said once the government begins to invest in infrastructure, there is capacity to change the entire community. Quality housing development is always accompanied by important community amenities, including health facilities and schools, Chang argued. This creates social harmony, which is a prerequisite for further investment in commerce, industry growth, increased wealth, and prosperity, he added. In 2023, Jamaica experienced the lowest level major crimes in 22 years, and that downward trajectory for crimes has continued into 2024. Additionally, the country is currently experiencing one of the fastest economic post-pandemic recoveries globally, and tourism numbers have surpassed pre-pandemic records. Chang emphasized that these results have direct effects on the real estate market. He pointed out that some taxes have been reduced or removed altogether, and that in 2019, the government reduced transfer tax payable on the sale of property from 5% to 2% of the value of the property. What do you all think? You think the crime, well, on the face of it, he's saying the crime has gone down. So the statistics, I guess, shows that it has gone down. Do you think it has gone down? Um, from where I sit, I don't follow crime. So I am hazy where that is concerned. Somebody might say to me, "Oh, Claudia shootout or so and so, so and so," but I'm not really. I don't have a crime feed on my phone like that. I have real estate feed, investment feed, money, finance. That's what I have, right? So has the crime gone down? That's what he's saying, and I agree that yes, they once the crime levels come down, real estate certainly prices will keep going and going on and on. Um, all right. Do you have any questions? So you can let me know. So, oh, so partial vaulted roof in the front only. Here, Q8. Yes, you can do a partial, that nice design you want, maybe over the living room, or maybe a master bedroom, and then the rest of it can be slab. Can we see that roof design? Oh, Tony, you can bring up the picture. While they bring up the picture, good morning, ladies. If I may suggest a wall, and I see some little cracks, not all off the wall, just one and two part of it, but he told me that I can use some shore coat and seal it. What you say? Those are probably hairline cracks. When the building is settling, that will happen. Yes, it can. So as long as the crack is not deep, like a 1 inch crack, but if it's just a little 1/8 crack or 1/60 crack, usually that is maybe caused from settling, right? So you can usually open it out a little and then you seal it back. But if you see the crack go straight through, so if you see the crack going from this side of the wall to the outside, then you have a problem. Remember your construction that they're to use horizontal bars every 4 blocks. We usually use a 1/2 inch steel. Some persons use a 3/8 steel. So we put it every 4 block height, lay it across the block, and we hook it back into the stiffeners or into the column or whatever is the tool thing. That is to keep it together so that you, in case of any earthquake, earth movement, it holds together. And we do that every 4 blocks going all the way up. You have any more questions? Where can we use the article? I think that was Loop.
I'll provide a link.
Where's the article coming from? Yeah, Loop News. All right, so we can go to the next article now, which is a British article. So in recent times, we have been having persons in Jamaica actually blocking construction, blocking new developments. They don't want any high rise. They don't want this scheme coming beside them, all kind of things. But I have noticed that the British government have taken a totally different stand on this. You know, I'm saying, wow. Those of you who are in England, tell me what you think. So this is a Daily Mail, right? Came out July 17, just last week. Says NIMBY clampdown. Residents will lose the right to stop new buildings near their homes and will only get a say on how, not if, development takes place in major overhaul of planning rules to deliver 1.5 million houses and flats. Hear that? Labour today unveiled a major overhaul of planning laws as part of their bid to get Britain building and deliver 1.5 million new homes over the next 5 years. Well, if we deliver 1.5 million homes in a Jamaica to just 3 million people, real estate prices would go down because now you'd have oversupply. But England is a big place, way bigger than us. Somebody put in the chat how many persons live in England. So 1.5 million is a drop in the bucket still, I think. All right. So the Planning and Infrastructure Bill was among flagship legislation in the King's speech as Sir Keir Starmer's agenda was settled to Parliament. The government signaled their intent to remove the power from local residents to block new developments. They warned their planning shakeup means communities will only be consulted on how, not if, homes and infrastructure are built. Labour branded the current planning system a major break on economic growth and vowed to press ahead with reforms. This was despite a senior minister this morning admitting the plans would prove controversial in some areas. The Tories warned the government is eyeing up huge chunk of the protected green belt for future house building. They said Labour's bid to reclassify some land as grey belt was nonsensical and shameless spin. What you all think? You think Labour is correct? Who you think is correct in this one? I wondered back in the day when all those persons came from wherever they came from, whether it be England, wherever, all those countries. How did they have development? Were persons saying, don't build no railway station here, don't build any school here, we don't want no hospital here, so no cemetery. Were they saying that? I'm wondering why we now believe that we have the right to stop housing. Now I'm with the British government on this. I am agreeing with the British government. Remove that nonsensical law that is giving residents the right to stop development. No, as he says, you will only have the right in the what does he say? The how it's done. That's what he said. But you won't have the right to stop it.
What is a green belt though for England and a grey belt?
A green belt anywhere I think is a no build zone. It stays as a green area.
Oh. House Dead says it's Horse Dead says 68 million people. Wow, that's a lot of people.
Right, 68 million. So they're only trying to build 1.5 million houses. So why is that being blocked anyway? That's like us trying to build 150 houses and you're saying no to the development.
They probably have a housing shortage in England though.
Well, I guess they would have a housing shortage of home ownership, housing shortage. But everybody lives somewhere now, so I don't think any. Well, maybe Haiti would have a housing shortage because some persons are living like in tents and so on, makeshift, right? Kenrick says, checking new time, killing me. Got football on Sunday. Football is at this hour, Kenrick. Where is football playing out, Tony?
I Kendrick probably watching football on England TV or something like that. I don't think he's actually getting up at 6 to play football, unless he's in England and he's playing actual football Sunday afternoon. Henry, what are you doing? Playing actual football on Sunday afternoon?
But there's a league going on now. All right.
It says no housing shortage. People just love the city. Well, I get it's the same with
Jamaica. Same thing. There's no shortage. I just love run come a town. As you call it.
I understand because where I am now, everything is so far. Like when I'm at home in Kingston, like everything's right at my fingertips. I can understand.
Walking distance.
Yeah, when you live out where I am now, if you turn a little hermit.
Yeah, but with the new palmetto pines coming, everything will be there too. Because you have the shopping right in front.
Mm-hmm.
So supermarket, you can just walk to it because the palmetto pines development have the shopping in the front. Doctor's office, pharmacy, all of that will be there. So you don't need to walk anywhere. What may be missing is the farmers thing, but you will have that in the supermarkets.
Mm-hmm.
Like the vegetables and so on. But that's also still in the supermarket. Right?
I'm curious, what position do you play in your league?
Kendrick is playing Sunday League. Okay. Or he's watching Sunday League.
No, I think he's playing.
Oh, okay.
It says the hurricane straps are only attached to the rafters. Question.
Yeah, the rafters and the plate. Yeah. So you strap the rafter to the plate. They usually go every other one, but if you want to be secure, what I do, I strap every one.
So what holds the roof?
I mean, what holds it?
The zinc.
Hmm?
What holds down the zinc? Just the nail?
Yeah, onto the rafter. Yeah.
So it's literally just nail? Is there something that screws it on?
Well, a zinc nail is like a screw, you know.
Oh.
I know I had one somewhere here. What did I do with it? Oh, I put it in my handbag. Yeah, the zinc nail have some corrugated things, so when it goes in, it can't come out. Yeah,
Okay.
not so easy, but the hurricane only fought that and go with the same way, man. Oh yeah. Hi Birdie, how you doing? Tony Birdie's back. Hi
Ah.
Birdie. All right, so that was that. Let's get into the Spanish Town article now. So I think the government is doing Labour government, I think. I think that's a good move. Good move. Jamaica need to follow suit. Change the laws. Remove the loophole. Oh, somebody from government is listening to me. All right, let's come closer to home now. So we are now Spanish Town babies. Back in the day, I used to live in Spanish Town. Spanish Town have a whole rebirth now. So Spanish Town is the next frontier that you can conquer. You know, back in the day, if you were paying attention, if you were older like your parents and at the time, if they were paying attention, they would have realized that they should have bought up properties in St. Andrew. Those new properties in St. Andrew. A gentleman told me that when they were selling the lands in Havendale, there was no bridge. There was a little thing you walk across it. There's no driving bridge, he said. That is right at Price Mart. When you reach Price Mart, there's a bridge you go over now to get over to Havendale side. And he said the lands were selling so cheap. You may not buy one or 1 acre. I'm sorry, I'm never buy more. He said, when the bridge came, land price just double and triple and quadruple in like no time. He couldn't believe it. So you see, you have to look to see where is this real estate trajectory going. So right now, it's Spanish Town, believe it or not, because Spanish Town is where the working class is. So is Portmore. But it's kind of like Portmore landmass is not as big as St. Catherine, which is where Spanish Town is. The landmass in Portmore is not as big. So they're literally limited into the housing. Unless they decide to go up into the hills of Hellshire, right? To do it. And that's a one way in, one way out. So
But that community, what's it called? Hills of Hellfire, I think it's called. They're gonna start something up in the hills.
right, I know, that's what I'm saying. So unless they plan to put the housing up in the hills. But if they put the housing up in the hills too, they need to put some shopping up there too, which is what I think is lacking in Hellshire.
Mm.
All right, so let's look at this now. Let's look at this report. So this report came out June, but I missed it. So I'm picking it up back here now. In a week's time, a multi-billion-dollar real estate development will open in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, the latest in a string of recent developments that have been quietly taking place in the city, while it slowly sheds its reputation as a haven for crime and criminals. Once the capital of Jamaica, Spanish Town has been a silent witness to the ebb and flow of time, enduring periods of neglect and decline. However, recent initiatives have sparked a revival of this historic city, aiming to rejuvenate its cultural and economic vitality. The transformation of Spanish Town is evident in the renewed energy pulsating through the streets. It's right, I can write, Tony man. New businesses are opening, public spaces are being revitalized, and there's another call for the authorities to make a concerted push to promote tourism that celebrates the town's storied past. The local government and civic organizations are collaborating for that to happen to ensure that development is sustainable and inclusive, providing opportunities for all citizens. This Jamaica Observer Special Report looks at the foundations of what is happening now as Spanish Town undergoes a rebirth. So, as far as tourism is concerned, yes, we need that revitalized. Quite frankly, I think Spanish Town itself could be the city where you have horse and buggy rides through the city, go to the square, the farmer square. You know that place, Tony, with those brick buildings and so.
Mm-hmm.
Whole thing need to be renovated and redone, and have a whole storytelling thing, you know, to tell history. So I can jump on a tour, maybe on a horse and buggy, and while the man taking me through the places, this is the driver of the buggy. Then he would be giving me the history and all of that. We also probably need to revitalize a train system through so that we can have these tours, guys. I think Jamaica, you're lacking in vision and imagination. All right, let's go. Spanish Town, St. Catherine, a place that for years held the top spot for violent crimes in Jamaica, is embracing a new future, one that's defined by economic resurgence and a shared spirit of optimism. Now, this is the thing: real estate investors must be able to can spot when the wind of change is happening. If you're not able to spot that, the wind of change is gonna come and you're gonna miss it. And you're gonna try getting on the back end, like those persons know who are trying now to buy North Coast. You miss the wind of change. The wind of change came years ago when Richmond came to the North Coast. That was when the wind of change started to happen. You're just trying to get into that now, you're on the back end, right? No. The wind of change is now turning into Spanish Town, right? So let's see what he says. Expansive warehouses and the factory spaces, long dormant and neglected, are now prime targets for investors eager to inject fresh energy and entrepreneurial ventures into the town. Simultaneously, savvy entrepreneurs are capitalizing on previously acquired spaces, undertaking ambitious renovation and expansion initiatives to realize their business visions. On the outskirts of Spanish Town, at the corner of White Church Street and the Spanish Town bypass, truckloads of marl are being deposited on some 24 acres of swamplands that have sat vacant for years. Tony, you know that you pass it all the time.
You man, I know it.
You know it, right? Scores. So those of you who don't know where it is, let's give you a little orientation. So when you come to Twickenham roundabout, you keep left onto the Spanish Town bypass. And you continue, you come to the first intersection. No, the second intersection that would take you left to if you were going to places like Catherine Estates, if you're going to the prison, right if you want to get back onto Twickenham, and everything on the right that used to be a big open land with a broke down wall. All of that now, 24 acres, is being developed. Let's see. Scores of Chinese laborers can be seen on site managing the land preparation process for what's expected to be one of the largest commercial developments in Spanish Town, responding to growing demand. The property was acquired by Marbella Holdings, a company part owned by property developer Edward Azan last year at a price tag of 658 million. No, Edward Azan fork out 658 million for this project, right? So if him fork out that 20, why we can't fork out 6.5 for Palmetto Pines? These guys came in and did some serious developmental works just on the land itself because it was once a swamp. So the man bought the swamp for $658 million.
All right. Vision.
Swamp, you know. That we all know is a swamp. We pass it every day. When rain fall, the place is a pool, man. You could have go over there, go check out. Because the land itself is below the road level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as they said, they came in and dump up, just like what they did in Portmore. Vision, right? So they came in and did some serious development works on the land itself because it was once a swamp from where I sit. I know that Court Jamaica is going to open a location there. A popular auto parts store has secured a spot, a bank, and I also understand that a coffee shop will be there. Hazard a guess which one. Norman Scott, the chairman of St. Catherine Municipal Corporation and the mayor of Spanish Town, told the Jamaica Observer in an exclusive interview. The developers themselves are doing a gas station and a mini mart and a food court, he added. To the west of that property, at the Marsh Pen Road and Spanish Town bypass intersection, Tools Hardware, you know where this one is now? So this used to be, what's the name of the company that was there? I'm trying to remember. So this is Marsh Pen Road at the corner now. Used to be Cash Plus Place. What's it called? Mainland. I think it was Mainland it was called. So to the west of that property at the Marsh Pen Road and Spanish Town Road Pass intersection, Tools Hardware, which is managed by Jalil Dabdou, visionary, has invested roughly 536 million on the acquisition of lands and existing building. Title's office records also show that Tools Hardware acquired the neighboring property at 3A Corlett's Pen. The lands were previously owned by General Industries Limited. Long-term investor Sagicor Groups, the big dogs coming in now, Jamaica, has doubled down on its commitment to Spanish Town by undertaking the new Brunswick Village. Those of you would have seen those come out, commercial and residential complex. While Sagicor has long been involved in the commercial property sector in Spanish Town, with properties like the Life of Jamaica Plaza in the town center. You know that plaza, Tony? That's where all the buses stop and drop off.
They still call it the LOJ Plaza.
Right. I was marooned in there one time who lived in Spanish Town. Big rain came and we couldn't go anywhere. We had to just sit in the plaza. So it was LOJ who did it, right? Visionary. The new development marks its inaugural venture into mixed-use real estate properties in Spanish Town. The multi-million-dollar project features 89 residential units and over 40 commercial units with 4 anchor clients: Sagicor Bank, Sagicor Life, Island Grill, and pharmaceutical company R.A. Williams Distributors. We're very pleased to be able to bring this development to the market in a time when many persons are looking for residential options that are accessible and well connected to the corporate area, but do not want to or cannot afford to live inside the metropolis. Donald Scarlett, Sagicor Group, Jamaica's Senior Vice President, Group Treasurer and Asset Management, said. On the commercial side, Scarlett says Brunswick is an attractive location since it's very visible and easily accessible without the heavy congestion and other concerns that would have come from being in the town center. It also has a modern facility to which they can tie their brands and the residential community directly behind it. It adds a natural flow of prospective customers, she continued. Scarlett also highlighted Spanish Town's ease of access to the leg of the Edward Seaga Highway, which is accessed at Angels to the north of the town. So when I'm in Spanish Town, I can jump on the north-south highway directly at Angels, and I can be in Ocho Rios in half hour if I'm shutting it. More like 45 minutes. And I can be back in Spanish Town, right? Amidst the bustling commercial activities of the town are construction in progress signs dotted the landscape. Morgan's Funeral Home stands out prominently, undergoing a significant upgrade from its previous single-story establishment to a spacious 3-story building to accommodate its growing clientele. The business, now operated by Carl Morgan and his wife Jacqueline, was founded by George D. Morgan and his wife Rosa in the 1970s at 16 Wellington Street in the heart of the town. It's one of the few companies that have stayed in business despite the upsurge in violence in and around the town over the past 5 decades, possibly owing to the essential services it provides the Spanish town and its environs in times of sorrow. St. James Farm and Supplies, another business that has operated uninterrupted by gang feuds, except in times of mass shootings and death of alleged gangsters, which caused the entire town to shut down, also recently completed an expansion. The freshly painted concrete walls and glass windows run in stark contrast to the neighboring old brick structures, which today serve as a reminder of the town's history. Spanish Town had its glory days long before the formation of the infamous One Order and Klansman gang, which are alleged to be responsible for several murders, robberies, and extortion activities in the town and its surrounding environments. It was a mecca of Jamaica. There were many sugar factories in and around the town, but all of them have gone under except for Worthy Park Estates. Then there are other companies that fed out of sugar, like Ricketts and Coleman, Berwick, and Pack Limited. I remember when Berwick was there. Berwick did shoe polish, I think. I don't remember what Coleman did. That did all the engineering work and parts source for sugar companies. But with the disappearance of the sugar companies, these companies also moved out of town. The town was also home to the largest employers of labor back in the day through a company called Arigabana Textile, yes, known as Textile Mills. That one is on, that's where you're going out to Angels, Tony.
On the left.
On the left, all of that land belonging to Arigabana Textile.
That's where the call centers are going now, right?
Yeah, and they would probably put that in a housing development now. What I do know is behind it there's a big call center behind it. So that whole stretch, it's now called, I think, an informatic park. So they're putting in the infrastructure for the call centers. In my days, textile mills would run 3 shifts. So this mill used to build fabric, right? And quite a few thousand women were employed. Then you had a couple of brassiere factories and so on down the road. He's going back into history. But the town's rich history predates back to 1534, when the Spanish town, previously called Villa de la Vega, was founded by Spanish colonists. It became the capital of Jamaica and was the seat of Spanish and British colonial governments for 333 years. That's the history that I think we should redo and package it, and that's what should form the tourism project, right? Now he's gone back into history. A lot of people, I'm skipping a little. A lot of people don't know that Spanish Town and St. Catherine contributed more to Jamaica's GDP than all the parishes combined. Spanish Town was chosen as a place for the Spanish to settle because the land was good for farming. Yes, Tony, we know that for sure. It had the river, which was good for health. It was close to Kingston Harbor, but the island location also provided the safety the Spanish needed. Today, St. Catherine is still one of the most viable areas in Jamaica. Geographically, we are in the middle of the country, so to speak, and in technical terms, Spanish Town is almost the most select area because you have to pass through the town to get to so many parishes. Dennis Robinson, president of the St. Catherine Chamber of Commerce, said. Still, if you mention the word Spanish Town to some Jamaicans, that history is not at the forefront of their minds. Instead, they'll tell you, a bad man plays that man. They saw how a man used to take a man head and left it to send a message to him enemies. You know, go them place unless you're a bad man too. Past resident who identified himself as blacks told the Jamaica Observer. People used to afraid, even them shadow back in the day when man like Bobo around the place. But things cool down here now, he continued. Bubba, whose given name is Oliver Smith, a leader of the One Order, was shot and killed in 2004, allegedly by his own cronies in a dispute over the spoils of a robbery. He is one of the many gang leaders in Spanish Town that have died over the past 2 decades, an occurrence that, in theory, signals peace for the town. But in reality, a gang leader's death typically results in days of sporadic violence and uneasiness in the town for members of the affected gangs who saw disorder with the burning of market and street side stalls and all of that. Up to 2010, crime in Spanish Town was so devastating, not that it's at an acceptable level, but people were basically afraid of themselves, to put it mildly. Today, if you talk to our business people, they will tell you about extortion, but it's more of an illusion than a reality. I also have a little business in the town and I don't get harassed. People will say it's because I am the mayor. Maybe, maybe not. But the undeniable truth is that the atmosphere of a business in Spanish Town is much more relaxed than years gone by. Although fatalities have decreased, the lingering effects of past events persist to this day. Nevertheless, investors are bullish on exploiting opportunities in and around the town, keeping true to the adage that in the midst of chaos, there is also an opportunity. Spanish Town, originally founded on an economy centered around cow hides and lard, today offers several products and services across various sectors. One of the town's newest offerings is contact center BPO services through a company called Transparent BPO, which leases a 2,500 seat turnkey facility at MJS Tech Park. This is the park I was just talking about, everybody. So this one is across from Angels. MJS Tech Park, a development led by Michael Subarati, is the old Areganama textile factory, exactly, that has been transformed into a modern industrial park on the northern outskirts of Spanish Town. The renovation of the 15-acre complex began in October 21 and is now home to several businesses, including Honeybun, which is setting up a new production plant on the site. Sagility, formerly HGS Healthcare, has also invested US 7 million to set up a fifth call center at the recently renovated MJS Tech Park. The operation accommodates 1,200 employees, 400 of whom will be new hires. Overall, the renovation of the old textile mill into MJS Industrial Park has brought some 4,000 jobs to Spanish Town. The facility is licensed as a special economic zone operator. MJS is doing a really good job with the turnaround of that old factory. It's a multi-billion business model to really take Spanish Town further. What people need to remember is that Prime Minister Bruce Golding, in his wisdom, a Spanish Town man, gave tax concessions for companies to establish themselves here. And companies like Grace Kennedy, CariMed, and Caribbean Broilers would have been beneficiaries, Mayor Scott said. These big businesses spurred the development of communities, and alongside that came small retail trade. But in recent times, there's been growing interest from the Chinese community. Chamber President Rothman told the Observer that their involvement in Spanish Town extends beyond mere business ventures. They're venturing into real estate development as well. If you walk through the town, you can see where the Chinese have put expensive structures on Yonge Street, Wellington Street, and so on. And even if they're not the property owners, they're the ones operating the businesses. In fact, they are not only doing business in Spanish Town, they're going into real estate development. Based on all that's happening in the town, I'm of the view that Spanish Town and St. Catherine will get back to being the Mecca of Jamaica. Tell me what you all think. Well, I'm with him on this one, maybe because I live here. And I am now interfacing with the community of the Spanish Town because we're doing the Palmetto Pines development, which is on the outskirts, St. John's Road. So we're not in the heart of the town. We're in the outskirts. Use a bypass and you find us. So Umbrella said, new 2 billion police station coming too. Never see smoke with a You afraid of that side, Butter Queen? Have you been to Spanish Town, Butter Queen? You need to drive through the place. A whole heap of good, nice people live in Spanish Town. It's not the place that's bad, it's the people. And as you have heard from the reports, they've actually eliminated some of those problems, right? So, as I said to my investment group, Afraid money can't make money. Scared money cannot make money. These people with how much $1 billion, and even if they have the cash or they took a loan, they have taken a serious investment money and put it in Spanish Town. They could have put it elsewhere. But I guess for them, the return on investment, they see where this is the best place to put it right now. Not the North Coast, not the South Coast, not the East or West Coast, but Spanish Town, the center. All right. And as I said, when people are in when you see the developers and the big dogs go follow their skirts, their foot, their tail. That's what you do as a little baby investor. Those of you on the chat, baby investors. You follow the skirt tail. So the man said to you, say, you know, so the ship is going to Tony, you might need want to take a break, and I see Mr. Wallace calling me. You want to take a break and take the call?
Okay. One moment.
So they have taken they have taken the lead, put it that way. They're anchoring the ship, they're steering the ship. So I'm telling you, I'm jumping on ship, man. You have to know when the winds have turned, guys. Right? You ever know when the wind have turned? Don't keep those things in your head. Move with the time. Move yourself forward. It's like you have a husband and the man was so bad and wicked to you. And then all of a sudden him decide to be good and all of that. And he would do anything for you now. But all in your brain is that no, sir, this brother is too wicked, man. You just can't forgive him. You just can't forgive him and move on. So your whole life, you're gonna spend the rest of your life in a misery. Right? Because this man not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. But because you can't forgive and forget, or not even forgive and forget, but you can focus your attention on what is now. You keep looking in the past, and that's the thing. If you keep looking in the past, you cannot go forward. We don't have eyes in the back of our heads. There's a reason why the creator don't put eyes in the back of your head. Your eyes are in front. So you must always be looking forward. When you get up every day, forward. Stop what happened yesterday we can't change. That's just the truth of God. But we certainly can try today to move forward into the future. That's what we need to do. All right, Tony is going to take a call. Let me see if I can see what happened. I'm unable to scroll. Good morning, the Buffalo. Morning, morning. So Butter Queen, the Spanish Town is not a bad man place. A place where ordinary Jamaicans, even rich Jamaicans, live in Spanish Town. I have some of the biggest houses. Where we are in all Green Acres, man, you must see some castles over there. House with swimming pool and those things too. Yes. So Farah says, hi Farah. How are you, Farah? Good to see you. Wow, that's amazing. Revitalizing the era of business ventures. Yeah, man. It's a Sinister says, it's a good look for Spanish Town. It was my hometown for 20 years. It was my hometown too. That's where I bought my first property. Not too far from Palmetto Pines, actually. So I bought my first property in Fairview Park, 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, and it did me very, very well. All right, so we have any more questions? Tell me what y'all think. Spanish Town. So Tony heading to Palmetto Pines shortly. I'm not going there yet. Mom, Heights, nice. Yes, San Diego Nights is very high, very nice. Mm-hmm.
Did you answer the question about what's the process to have rental income verified as regular income so it can be considered for future loans and not seen part of your debt but a source of income?
And the tax return.
For the rental income. For the rental income.
Yeah. File the tax return and include the income in it as your income.
And
So let's
next,
say you're earning $500,000 in rental income, and that's your income, source of income. You file your tax return yearly, and that's your source of income. Here, Q8. Land banking, Palmetto. Nothing can be done on the land for a while. Is that a question or a statement? Here, Q8. Explain. Nothing can be done on the land for a while. Why, Tony? I'm getting really hungry. What time is it now?
you know, I got up at 4 o'clock and cooked.
Really?
I made ackee and saltfish with roast bird food.
What? I never come through the airwaves to me. I could have do with that right now.
I know how these mornings go now.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have any Ensure or True Shake with me, so I know I had to go to eat.
As it is now, it looks like I'm gonna have to go eat egg. I thought that way not prepared. Not prepared. All right, so here Q8 waiting. Oh, it's a good plan to land bank. Okay. Yeah, you buy the worst cycle, we're going to phase 3. You buy the land, you put it down. Even if you're paying your mortgage, you're paying. It's like you're saving the money in the land. Yes.
Like you said, send me some, please.
Well, that's the beauty of being single. You can't get them 4 o'clock and cook.
I know, right?
Nobody to say, what you doing? The smell messing up my sleep.
I even blend smoothie to carry to work this morning.
Yeah, the blend them enough nice, man. Some people would have vex.
I know, right?
It's early for do. Oh gosh. I can't solve it. So you went market yesterday?
No, I went market from last week, the time when I told you. So
Oh.
I had frozen, pick the ackee and boil it and freeze it in the parcels. And then I didn't have the saltfish there, but I hadn't, you know me and saltfish. I just eat it now and then. And then I was down at Palmetto Pines and Ross give me a roast breadfruit. So I say, all right, I'll go work with this.
Breadfruit. That me like about Jamaica. You know, have no mango. You bringing mangoes later?
No, I don't have no mangoes. There's no mangoes, which is why I think he gave me the roast breadfruit because breadfruit probably dropped from the wind. That
So,
didn't happen.
so the mango them finish already? Yeah, me.
Yeah, so when we check the tree, the green mangoes drop off the thing that happened on Friday.
Oh, the freak storm.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Can't win, man. Lose.
We got breadfruit, so work with that.
Yeah. So I tell you, I need to buy myself some farmland. More and more I think about it. But the problem is I haven't decided, so I'm not even committed like that. But if I'm gonna get it, it has to be close. Unless somewhere like Spanish Town would have worked for me.
But the queen said, no, Miss D, Tony need a man to get up and feed at 4 a.m. So many men died for a good woman to do that for them.
Yeah. It's like those who come on the side, and drop them. I buy bread and cheese a morning and whatever, I buy box food. I said, what do your wife? Your wife not get up and fry little dumpling, Johnny Cake and kick up saltfish and give up the cargo hour. No, some mistake, my woman, yeah.
It's like I was on site Friday and they were eating the same butter and cheese. So I was like, oh, butter and cheese supposed to carry the through this year working and this and son. Anyway, today I see them yesterday when I was there, they were eating mackerel, tin mackerel and roast breadfruit.
Oh, so them have the breadfruit now, so them just roll up a tin of mackerel. That's good. That's a good thing about Jamaica. I mean, that's why I say anybody starving in this country is lazy, really and truly, because you shouldn't starve. There's just food all around us. Right now, I'm looking through the window and I'm seeing some healthy coconuts on a tree, and I'm like, why don't they pick these coconuts?
They can't reach them because you're
There's
already on.
a healthy mango tree and a healthy what we call it, pomegranate tree. We call it ponganut. So it hangs over. So sometimes we do get one and two ponganuts, but we, I mean, all the mango them drop off of the tree now. Rotten, nobody cares. We have so many, so many. All right.
Barrel to the mangoes. Marsha wants to know, good morning. How do you file tax return on rental income? What are the steps? So you're going to file what's called a SO4, and this
SO4. Mm-hmm.
SO4, it's for you to file as self-employed.
Is the form on site on their website? Is it?
Let me look.
Or you can get an accountant. So the accountant, let me give you Mr. Patterson's number.
Right.
You have a fee for Mr. Patterson?
No.
No. So he's a very good accountant. Just tell him it's Miss Claudia Davis. He's very good. You're not gonna break the bank with him.
No, you just need to keep track of the expenses. So you have to have all the rental income that's actually coming in and all the expenses associated with the rental income.
And it's
You
better.
don't have repairs or anything like that. You
Yeah, categorize the
categorize it.
yeah. So what you do? Who asked the question? Marsha. So what you do, Marsha? Get yourself a 3-hole folder. I don't see any right here, so no. But get yourself one of those 3-hole with the 3 rings.
One of these.
Also, Tony have hers there. All right. And what you're gonna do? You also can get some folder leaves and some separators. Tony have one there that you can show. Easy. So you get some separators for the binders, right?
This one's not separated yet. No, this one's not separated yet.
You don't have it separated. All right. So you get some separators selling. You're gonna have your expenses. So your expenses might be electricity. So every month, electricity bill come, you put it in there. January, February, March, April, May, and by now you should have reached June, right?
Right, and the proof of payment, the bill plus the proof of payment.
Right, the bill plus the proof of payment attached to it. So you must have, so you have the separators in the various categories. So you'll have electricity, water, maybe insurance, maybe property tax, any repairs. What else?
That's usually the 4 main things: utilities, repair, taxes,
and labor. So let us say you pay the gardener, you pay a helper to clean those things, right? You buy something for the property. You might buy, so you have to replace a solar water heater. You have to do some plumbing and so on. So you're gonna have those various categories. Put them in your folder. What I do is the folder leaf that you put in the front of each category to make your life simple. You write the date, the company, your thing, and the amount you spend. And you can put a little note that it was for to buy mixer or to buy whatever. So the date, so it will be the date, fills, hardware, $50,000, buy water pump or something like that.
And one rental property. Put what property it was for.
And put what property. So you add it up. Well, ideally, you'd probably want, do you want a different phone? You can have a spreadsheet with the different properties. You have your income and your expenditure, and you're tracking your expenditure for each one differently, right? But for the folder itself, you're gonna put everything in the folder. So you might subcategorize each category still. So if you have electricity, you might say this electricity is for John's Road, and then this one is for Mega area, and this one is, you understand what I'm saying? Palmetto Pines, whatever. So you have your folder together. That way now, at the end of the year, and you put your sheet of the income you collected in the income side, and you put your bank statement highlighting. So this was January, and this was from Unit 2. This is January, and this was Unit 3 at Palmetto or whatever. You do that, and then you hand the folder at the end of the, or the beginning of the year in January to the accountant. An accountant like Mr. Patterson. You just hand him the folder, and then he will go through and do the rest for you. But you can also do a little spreadsheet. So I do a little spreadsheet, and it tells me this was the income and this is the expenditure. So right away I can know what's going on. So like Tony will keep a running balance, but I usually only look at it maybe every 3 months, 4 months. Sometimes I don't even look at it till the end of the year, really, because I'm kind of busy. But Tony's the one who manages all of that stuff, plus even our own personal income. That's why Tony can test you, baby. You know.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah, test you, baby. All right. So Patterson's number now is, but it's not. Do you find the file, the form, Tony? It's not difficult, but you don't want to bother with that, so they give it to a man like Patterson because he will also know what can be subtracted, what depreciation to use, so you end up
And
paying.
you want to give it to an accountant, especially if you want to include it for income to get loan in the future.
Yeah, you want to use the accountant.
Right? Because they're gonna ask, the bank is gonna ask, so what is it called? There's this letter that they ask from your accountant.
You might need an income verification statement.
Right.
You might need a whole set of balance sheets, cash flows, all of that. So here's Mr. Patterson's number. Put it in the chat, Tony. So it's Dalton Patterson. Just tell him it's me, and it is 876 541 1007. 1007. You get that, Tony? All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Farah is asking, how do you remove squatters living in a board and zinc houses that's been on vacant land less than 6 years? Person waiting on land to be. You give notice in hand. Person waiting on title to be in hand from Commissioner of Land. All right. So when you get the title in your hand, because before this now, it's Commissioner of Land own the property.
So what? You don't have no authority to remove the person?
No, because you're not living there. You don't have possession. But you're getting the title now from Commissioner of Land. So once you have that title now, you own it. And you need to do this before 12 years. Is give them notice to leave. You give notice to leave and keep pressuring to give notice. You can ask a lawyer to try and work that through. It's gonna go to court. When it goes to court, some will turn up, ask for time, some won't turn up. Some will even challenge you that they on the land more than the 6 years that you talking about. Some will challenge you to that. So you have to have your information, right? And then when the court is exhausted, that's what I think happens. The judges get tired. They will issue the removal, the order to remove them. You take that to a bailiff, and the bailiff will remove them. Usually it involves to even taking down the houses and all of that. But here's the thing now. I usually say to persons, depending on how much land it is, can you reasonably cut off this piece that them on? Let us hope them not on the prime piece or the front. Them like to put themselves on the front of the land. Therein lies the challenge. And depending on how many persons we're talking about. So like one house, it's a remove squatters that's living in a board and zinc house.
It says houses.
Like one person.
Oh, it
One
says
family.
houses.
Oh, houses. Farah, how many houses you talking about? All right, move the sinister. Let me see. Can we get home equity on land? Usually I can't, but I think JMMB is giving Tony on land.
Mm,
Think so. Check JMMB. Home equity on land.
home equity on land.
Mm-hmm. I think JMMB. Check with JMMB. Or will it be proven that the squatters have only lived there for 6 years? Also, what is J years the maximum that squatters can claim? 12 years. Minimum 12 years. That's what I'm saying. So Farah would need to have the proof to show that they only went on this land 6 years.
Okay, maybe Farah or Farah's family was on the land before that. And then maybe they can prove that the year they went to foreign or something. That's when the squatters took over the property.
Mm-hmm. But Farah, somebody needs to visit the land. You have to visit the place.
She says, yes, they are on the front from my estimation to the houses. The property was viewed from Google Maps images and comparisons made with images from houses.
Go to send a surveyor to the land. Need a surveyor. Sometimes the Google, sometimes the images don't match up on ground. So go to get a land surveyor to go and survey the boundaries to see where on this land they're encroaching. If they're encroaching, maybe they're not in the road. You won't know for sure without the survey diagram. The survey has to go there and do that. So ask the survey to go do a pre-check. If he does a pre-check, he will indicate, he would have had to indicate where on the land them is. If you have a good road frontage, you can probably just cut off that piece and call it a day. But this is what happened far away. Don't pay attention. Last week or the week before, we did some things that you can try. It was a land fence. That's one of the things too. You have a fence your property. Did the land have a no trespassing sign? You must fence, no trespassing sign. Right? You must have somebody on the ground who, as them see them start, call and say, Farah, you see a man drop some block and them drop some zinc, and immediately you activate yourself to get rid of them. No, don't go there. Give them a notice. You cannot go there. Get your tractor in place to push off anything them put there. Fence the property, guys. You have to be active if you want to keep the land. If you don't want to keep the land, you can't leave it there. You just open it and then claim adverse possession, right? And we discussed some ways that you can avoid adverse possession. Remember, there were
Trust.
put a loan on it, put a lien on it. What else?
Trust.
Trust.
And put somebody on it. Right?
I'm buying new.
Yeah, I'm buying new.
Yeah, like a Palmetto Pines, that's new. So them can't say them did it 12 years because the land only exists 1 or 2 years.
Farah says it's 10 acres of land. Oh, that's a lot of land.
It's a lot of land. So maybe you could cut off a piece and give them.
Yeah, so that you can have good neighborly relations. Because people don't just squat for squatting purposes, they generally need somewhere to live.
It's 10 acres of land, need a survey. Call 2 and they're saying I need a lawyer. What do you need lawyer for? You don't reach lawyer yet. Been waiting. Commissioner of Land survey to identify boundary. Didn't think could put up a sign. Title pending. When you get the title, it should have a diagram on it. Then you send a surveyor on the ground with that title, and he will establish where your boundaries are. You need to be on spot or somebody representing you need to be on spot when the surveyor is there. The surveyor will identify your boundaries, especially in the front where the road is. You might have to pay for pegging as well. And he will indicate if these people are on the land. If they're on the land, talking about 10 acres, I would probably just cut off a little piece of them and give it to them. Some lessons you're gonna pay for learn. This is one of them. Gonna cost you for learn. I'm sorry, 10 acres of land should not be left idle. You really need to have some vision, some thing. What you're going to do with this land? You're going to subdivide, you're going to farm. What else you can do with land? So many things. Jamaicans have a tendency to leave their lands idle. Their four parents' land too, that everybody thinks that it's a bushland, and them until the government decide to push a big highway through it, then you vex. And the government said, bring the owner come, bring the owner.
Land can be used for living on it or farming on it. And if you're not doing any of those two, I think you should just leave it.
Leave it, but then somebody's gonna come and live on it and farm on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because as you said, that's the use of the land, right? So you don't want it, and the crowd don't like idle land.
Butter Queen says, Far says, can you recommend a survey for Trelawney?
Here it comes. Survey for where? Which side of the island?
Trelawney.
Trelawney can give fiddler. Trelawney. Fiddler.
Butter Queen says, further explain home equity. Say I have a house. I pull the equity. How does the payment of that loan is calculated? And how am I expected to pay? Do they restart my mortgage, or is it seen as a new loan?
It's a new loan. Add it to the, if you have a loan. All right, so let us say at a Camelot, you bought it for 60 million, and it now is 38 million. That's the value. So it has some equity. So you can borrow 85% or 80% of the value that is in it now. So let us say it is, and equity happens through two processes. Either price appreciation, which is what has happened to Camelot, price appreciation, meaning the price go up, or debt pay down. So if you bought the property for 16 million, you pay down the debt to 5 million, then you would have had that equity, the difference between the loan now and how much you owe now. Or price appreciation, move from 16 million to 38 million. So let's see now. Calculator time now. So it now value 38 million. Let us say is 80% is the equity that they will lend. That's 30,400,000. But remember, you borrowed, or I borrowed 16 million. So they now can give you a new loan of 14,400,000. So they would add that as a lien again on your title and send 14,400,000 into your bank. The thing with equity loans is that you can probably say to them as well, take the charges from this. Let us say you don't have the money. Equity loan is good when you don't have no money, but you have equity in the property. So you can let the bank take the charges or whatever out of it. So you may end up with maybe 14 million instead of 14,400,000, or maybe depending on how much. Who's going to take a 2%, 288. Right, you take a 3%.
The JMB website, the equity loan is 15 years.
So that again?
The equity loan can be taken for a max of 15 years.
Right, so the maximum is 15 years for the equity loan. Truth, someone had requested if I can allow them to do farming on my land. It was a no. Squatting is a challenge. Why? If you put somebody on your land and you write up the proper lease and so on, they cannot adverse possess you. What you have to do is control the area with which he's farming. So you tell him, so there's a 10 acre, you say you can farm 2 acres, and you survey the 2 acres and you show him, and you make him fence it and say, this is it, and you write a proper lease for it. So Butter Queen, I hope I explained equity. No, them don't restart the mortgage unless you want to roll up the new mortgage in it. And say, you got a 30-year mortgage and you want to know have it as a 15-year. You can't say to them, just roll up this mortgage for 15 years for both mortgages.
Oh, so mommy can say, I can have a 30-year mortgage on the existing loan for the Camelot and then add another 15-year mortgage for the equity. Two separate mortgages on the
property, yeah.
Okay, understood.
What type of fencing is used to separate land? Anything. Barbed wire, chain link, zinc, block and steel, anything that can make a separator. Some persons plant a hedge. Hedge is a fencing too, you know. It's a natural fencing.
Mom, what I want to try to understand, this equity that you're taking out, right?
Here's another zero.
Yes, you have the equity, but what if you don't have the salary, the income?
Then you can't get the loan. Can't get the loan.
Say my equity in Camelot is 10 million. Basically, I get a $10 million loan. Right? I have to be able to afford $10 million in loan.
More, yeah.
More. So why would I go for the equity? If I can get $10 million in loan, why don't I just get a new loan?
You can get a new loan, but why would you go for the equity? Because maybe you don't have the money to pay the bank fee. Maybe you don't have a 10% deposit to pay on the next property that you're trying to buy. Suppose you have a 14 million and you want to buy it. But the deposit is 10%, you don't have 1.4 million. The bank have some charges, you don't have that. You have to go pay 2%, not 2%. How much you pay? Well, stamp duty cheap, but you have to go pay a legal fee of 3%. You don't have that. In other words, you don't have no money, right?
Registration.
Right. You don't have any money, but you have 14 million in equity in this property. So you could take this 14 million in equity, buy the property for 12 million or maybe 13 million, and use the other million pay the fees. That's why you would take the equity, because you just don't have the cash to go deposit and pay.
But this is up for negotiation, or you have to really speak to your mortgage officer to negotiate that.
Negotiate what?
Having the fees included in the loan.
What is it a negotiation? And the bank will pay the money. So you can't say to the bank, just subtract the fees. What's wrong with that? Whether I pay you the fees from a different bank or have it in my bank account, it's just a matter of mathematics. If they might give you 14 million and the fees 1 million, them just give you 13 million instead. I don't think that's no big negotiation. What may be a big negotiation is your interest rate, the term that you're getting the loan for. That might be a big negotiation now. Because you might want a 20-year as opposed to a 15-year. You may want an interest rate of 6% as opposed to 10%.
Okay. All right.
Understand?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so time is upon us. Thank you, everybody. We don't have any more questions?
No.
All right, good. Covered it. Doing better, Tony. Finish the exam. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. And Tony, I know they're looking forward to your blog.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your week. And those of you coming out to Palmetto Pines, Tony is there. She'll see you. All right. Bye.
On.